Steel Toe Morning Show.
Evening, everybody, and welcome to the Steel Toe Evening Show. I'm Aaron, that's April.
Hey.
And I have a new Brett the Hitman Hart shirt on tonight.
It looks good.
I got two of them now. 2 or 3?
2.
I have 2 Brett the Hitman Hart shirts. So I can rotate them in one day. Welcome to the show. It's going to be a great one. It's been an awesome day, not only for Steel Toe, but for the two of us. School started today. And so we found ourselves with a hell of a lot more free time than usual. And after the wedding and the pool day on Sunday and, of course, doing the members only show on Monday, we found it. And, of course, Monday, sending the kids off and everything, we figured the best way to handle our first day of freedom of the year was to lay around and do absolutely jack shit.
It was needed.
I did get that Elisa Jordana clip up, and holy shit, a lot of people checking out Steel Toe for the first time, really liking the stuff we did on that news story out of, I can't remember if it was Florida or California, the news story about the guy who had written this giant manifesto admitting all these child predator crimes he'd committed and all this other stuff, and how he was basically one of the biggest benefactors. Benefactor is you give them money, right? A benefactor is you're giving.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The biggest benefactor of Elisa Jordana. And what I'm hearing from her, from the people who hate her guts, and take this with a grain of salt, this is all allegedly, but I am encouraging people to send me what information they have. I'll take a look at it. I understand that I have a platform and I have a grudge against this woman. So who better to send damning evidence to than a guy with a platform and a grudge?
It's perfect
right?
to me.
I hate her. I hate her guts for, not only what happened to us and happened to Bob and happened to Chrissy, but also the way she fucking defends these people, which in my mind, if she wouldn't have defended them, I wouldn't have held her accountable.
No, if you just denounce these things, but she doesn't.
But if she would, but instead she defends these people, and now this alleged child molester guy gets caught, and she says, "No, I support him. No, I like him." I mean, this woman has no fucking shame whatsoever. I mean, to me, I get so worked up, I get so heated because I can't fathom in my brain that this is a real person.
She does seem like an NPC somehow.
Or computer generated, an AI.
Right, she's in The Sims.
Right. She doesn't seem like a real person because you go, no person can be this blind. No person can be this stupid. No person can be this self-obsessed that as long as you give me a couple of bucks and some compliments and you watch my shitty IRL streams, I'll defend you even if you molest children. Now, what I'm hearing from other people, and again, send me what you have. I'll be glad to look. Well, not glad, because some of this stuff is ugly, but I'll be happy to look at it. There's also rumors now that she's given this guy fucking money in jail. Somebody said it in our comment section. I can't take credit for it, but give it to his victims.
Isn't it okay to denounce somebody once you find out they're a bad person?
No, because they called her pretty.
I've had a lot of guys tell me I'm pretty. I'm married to you, and if I found out you did that kind of shit, I would denounce you until I die.
I would hope so.
You know.
I would hope so. But this woman has been so obsessed for decades now with becoming famous. She doesn't care how. She's abandoned dignity. She's abandoned decency. She just wants to get famous. She fucked Benji, for God's sake, from the Howard Stern show so that she could get on Howard's show. And when Howard realized what she was doing, he fucking ripped her apart on his program. Good on Howard for that. But the neediness of this woman to the point where guys like Botter, a guy who tortured that poor Noodles guy that I talked to on the phone.
The poor Noodle.
Poor Noodle. Noodles is calling me on the phone after we got this guy, after they caught him and charged him, and he's crying, thanking me about, how, this guy's been torturing me and my family for years on the internet and our business and this, that, and the other thing. And then this woman goes, oh no, I like him. I support him. Okay, that's one thing, a guy who fucks with people on the internet. Now we've got a kid toucher, an admitted kid toucher for years. And because he gave her a lot of money and because she had him as a professor of her IRL university or whatever the fuck that means, this delusional twat, she's going to defend him and say, no, I think he just has an illness like I have depression. First of all, you don't need to tell us you have depression, Elisa. You wear it on your fucking face.
We get it.
Yeah, we understand that you have some, not just depression, some other very serious issues that you're not copping to.
If I found out that I was giving money to and hanging out with and, God forbid, having feelings for some exalting some guy who had done like stuff to kids for 40 years.
Yeah.
I would not, I'd start by throwing up instantaneously.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to use the word disavow fast enough.
Right. Oh my God. I don't know where I'd start besides the puking part. It's disgusting.
So look, thank you guys very much for checking out this show and liking this show and checking out the Jordana stuff. I hope you watch our show every morning. I hope you watch it the 3 nights a week that we do it. I hope you stick around, like, subscribe, all that stuff. If you feel like becoming a member, we run on listener donations. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. But mostly, the Elisa Jordana fire was lit again for me. Because it was a legitimate news story that we got, and then people said, hey, this is a guy who's like Elisa's best buddy. Then there's another guy who says, oh yeah, she doesn't support that guy. Or no, she supports that guy, he's okay. But now another guy who worked for her quit, and he said right after that, she doxed my criminal record, she put all my stuff out there, talked about what a piece of shit I was. But the pedophile, he's okay.
Well, in Elisa's because he hasn't wronged her yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't her that he was touching.
I'm going to look into this guy that emailed me. I'm just going to make sure he's okay first. I want to do my due diligence. And then I might interview him. Maybe not on the show, but as like a standalone.
Fruit?
A standalone fruit. Yeah. Thank you for that levity, by the way. I needed that.
You're welcome.
But I think I might talk to that guy, a former producer of hers, because I forgot how much I hated her until this came up, and then it caused me to hate her more, what she was doing regarding this guy.
I don't enjoy hating people. It like takes a lot from me, but that's why I didn't talk about her for a long time either. She is a ripe piece of shit.
Yeah. Let's go through let's catch up with everybody being very generous early on tonight. Tim Brouillard with $4.99 says, thanks for putting up with me, Aaron. You're a very cool guy.
Oh.
5-star General Crakes with $20 says, investigate 311. I don't know what that means. If you guys want to DM me on Twitter or you want to email me, I don't keep up with this stuff. I don't follow up with it. Send me what you got. I'll take a look at it and we'll see. Rupert with $9.99 says, she's a monster. I would tend to agree. 5-star General Craig says, listen, sometimes I don't subscribe. Well, I mean, thank you for the $40, though.
Thank you. That's very generous.
Very kind of you. We appreciate that. That already puts us, that puts us 35. That puts us 40 into tonight's goal. Holy shit. Thank you, guys. 205 away from it tonight.
Going well.
Thank you to Scarface, too. He sent in $5 at the end of the morning show. I didn't get to it. Thank you, Scarface, if you're hearing this. I appreciate it. 205 away tonight. And also, usually, we want to be under 200 by the top of the hour, and we're only 8 minutes in. Whew. I missed ripping that chick a new asshole.
I know.
I really did. Boy, did I hate her
She
guts.
really is hateable at every turn.
There's never, the thing about Elisa Jordana is this, there's never a redeeming quality.
That's my thoughts exactly.
You never see anything where you go, oh, because a lot of people, even if they're terrible people, there's something you can point to and be like, oh, okay, this explains, I still think they're shitty for thinking this or doing this, but here's something that explains why they are that way. I get that.
The way I see her as somebody who, she is a narcissist. She needs everybody to love her. And the easiest people to manipulate and like control are these mental broken people.
Right.
And she's like herded them all about her. And now she's just the shepherd.
She's formed an army of lunatics.
She really has. And she'll pet them and stroke them and their little broken selves. But
in fairness to her, if you get picked up for pedophilia, she'll still defend you then. So there is that.
She's probably paying his bills.
She is a shitty little cult leader is what she is.
It's pretty bad.
Shitty little cult leader, Elisa Jordana.
How has she made it this long?
I mean, bottom feeding. I mean, it's what it is. She's made it by bottom feeding.
She really does she's like a carp.
Early on, I think a lot of men paid her bills. If you catch my drift, she hooked up. Like, Benji's got a buck or two. I'm not saying he's gotten wealthy during the Stern Show, but she's the kind of woman who she finds a guy, and she had some looks before. Like, now she's pushing 50. I mean, the looks department it's very sucked in and vacuumed and worked on. But I'm sure when she was in her 20s and 30s, like when she got a guy like Benji, you get him to pay for everything.
She was with Andy Dick for a long time, too. I don't know if he ever had money. He certainly doesn't now.
He did have money at one point. But she used Andy Dick to make money. She would do that IRL streaming and keep all the money they got for the Andy Dick stuff.
Barely propping him up, by the way.
It's literal. I don't think the term bottom feeder could be hyperbolic when talking about Elisa Jordana. You're asking how she's made it this far. Literal bottom feeding.
She's that little sucker fish that'll like suck up the little rocks and pebbles at the bottom and suck the grime off them.
Or a cockroach.
Right.
Cockroach works well too.
Hard to get rid of.
Lemmy says, did she really try to equate depression with pedophilia?
Yes.
Yeah, she tried to play his pedophilia off that he had a mental disease. He had a disease, he had a problem. Like, she said, I'm depressed, I have depression.
So, and there's two folds to that too. Like, that's her making yet another excuse for a mental broken human being, piece of garbage. And she made it a little bit about her, which is always a plus for her.
Of course. Of course. Lemmy likes the shirt. $2 from Little Lemmy. Says, awesome fucking shirt, dude. Thank you very much. Very nice, her face and voice are intolerable, says Triple N. Magic 8 Ball says, Chandler gifted Opie $2.99. I don't disclose whether or not Chandler gave this program money. If Chandler ever sends anything to this show, I read what he sends in. I thank what is said in the thing for the money they sent. I don't feel the need to advertise it, because if he asks not to, if he's like, hey, this is the thing I'm sending you money as, read that I like doing that. Mm-hmm. So congratulations to Opie. Good luck to everybody.
Maybe you can buy some new coffee.
Gotta get some coffee if you're the Opester.
Maybe you'll buy Steel Toe coffee.
Oh, Opie, try some Steel Toe coffee. Absolutely. Triple N says, investigate 311 is an Eric Andre bit. Oh, 311, 911. I get it. Boy, am I a stupid. You are a stupid man, Abel. You're a son of a bitch, says Elisa Jordana in 1978 Cambodia. I love Pol Pot. Yeah, he has a genocide disease, but he bought me some dim sum once.
She would be the kind of person to say it's just different cultural norms.
Right, exactly. I heard from somebody, people have been sending me stuff now. They're like, I'm so glad you're covering this, Elisa. I'm so glad you're covering this. And a few people have sent me things like, this guy bought her cars. This guy gave her shitloads of money. Like, this guy had some dough on him. So I'll go through all of that. One guy did send me the whole manifesto that the guy wrote. I don't know if I want to dive into that, like even off the air. I don't know if I want to go into that brain, It does sicken me sometimes to think about that. Yeah. Like, it's even like serial killer documentaries you watch or you listen to their recordings and stuff. Yeah. Some of that's dark enough. Let's not do kids. 5-star General Crakes with $5 says John Cena is watching and he isn't happy. I'm sorry, I don't have a John Cena shirt. I apologize for that.
You used to, I thought. Real old one.
No, I was never. No, because John Cena's only been around for 15, 20 years.
That wouldn't be a real old shirt?
No, Macho Man, Hogan. No, I've never had a John Cena shirt. I've never been a John Cena guy.
Weird.
I was too old for John Cena.
I must be thinking about all my other boyfriends who were John Cena fans.
Of course. Yes, absolutely. You look like you dated a lot of John Cena fans.
Don't I?
Yeah. Lemmy, becoming a member for her 15th month, says Elisa is an amoeba. Oh, Elisa amoeba. There you go. She kind of conforms and molds into whatever's needed.
Well, she eats things.
Now, Amanda Hugginkiss says bottom feeding fish have a use. She has no use. Fair enough. Paul R. Nelson says Shawn Michaels is better. See, now we're gonna get in a fight. Now I'm a Bret Hart mark. I'm a Bret the Hitman Hart guy. Lemmy says I heard you got a dono on behalf of my co-host Catrick. Yes, Catrick gave us $100 today.
What is a Catrick?
Precisely. Mel Gibson after 12 beers says Bret Hart is the Hitman. Owen Hart hit floor. I had to deliver it with the gusto, but I didn't feel good about it.
Okay.
I didn't feel good about it. Paul R. Nelson says, you can't see me. Yeah, I don't have a John Cena shirt. T. Jefferson even accusing John Cena of being a wiener guy.
Maybe. He looks like you pumped him up with like an air pump.
John Cena?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it was just working hard in the weight room. JJ Lynn with $1 says, God damn it, April, I just got carpal tunnel surgery. You can't be doing this to me, but you do look lovely like always. Complimentary, yes, but it's also letting a woman know you're thinking about jacking off. So, I mean, you can probably modify that a little bit, but it's up to you.
Thank you, and I hope your wrist heals. Go lightly on it.
Oh, not if you're treating it like that. Thank you guys very much. Great start to the show tonight. 2:05 away from tonight's goal. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Rumble. Let's continue on and have a lovely, wonderful show today. Streamlabs, PayPal, and Venmo if you'd like to contribute that way. If you hate YouTube, you can also do Rumble and all that stuff. Thank you guys very, very much. So, Elisa Jordana, I might, if there's news, I'm always willing to be in the Elisa Jordana business just because there's no amount of retribution I can take for what that woman did that would satisfy me.
She's
so
nasty.
I can always take more.
Okay.
Put it that way. April and I saw a report the other day on the news that I wanted to mention quickly, that in Minnesota now, and I think nationwide, I think this is an FDA thing, they're allowing Narcan to be sold over the counter. They allowed this like in the early summer, but I think it's now just hitting the shelves.
It is.
So now pharmacies and just over-the-counter places, the nasal Narcan spray. Mm-hmm. And they said it's like, the news reported it as if to say like, hey, they even said it. They're like, well, don't just keep it thinking that you have a free pass to overdose. I'm like, imagine that for a second. You get a little Narcan and you're like, oh, I can't wait to shoot an irresponsible amount of opioids into my system tonight because I got the Narcan.
Well, yeah, you just want to see death for a little bit and come back from it.
Yeah, I just want to go up to the precipice. I want to walk to the brink. I want to put my tippy toes on it and then walk it back. Look, I'm sure the people who are families of the people who will need it are very happy that they can get it and so on and so forth. I just think it's a cheat code.
It is.
That isn't good for us as people.
It's not. It was last night. We briefly had the news on, just whatever. And they were saying, oh, this is a really good thing for people that can afford it because they made some bitchy off comment about how it's like $44 for a 2-pack.
Right.
Which, just annoying that they're even bitchy about a price. But I'm just so mad that they're sitting here saying, oh, this is so great and stuff. I'm like, well, if people could just be fucking responsible, we wouldn't need it.
Yeah.
I'd rather just as soon, they're like, oh, make sure, if you're a family member of somebody who you know is at high risk of needing it or something. I'm like, why don't you get them in treatment instead of keeping Narcan on you?
It would be nice. And imagine I can't imagine the lives you're saving are top shelf lives.
That's what I mean.
Now we're getting into eugenics.
I don't care.
Rincewind with $5 says, Aaron, I was going to compliment you yesterday on how effable in the A you looked in your suit, but then you talked wrestling. Yuck, gay. Look.
Oh.
I giveth, I taketh away. You're gonna do.
My final wrap up on the Narcan thing was that I think that shit should only be used for children who clearly didn't choose to do that thing themselves. They got into something that mommy or daddy left out. And if you're an adult that gets caught using Narcan, I think you should be charged with something because you're a piece of shit.
Lemmy says, bet it will still be cheaper than insulin. Oh, for sure.
It is.
And Loaded Wrench also says, and I have to pay $700 for an EpiPen. Mm-hmm. Brought to you by Pfizer. Ace says, April, your take on Narcan is so fucking stupid. Do some research.
I don't care what your opinion is on my take. That's how I feel.
If you're the
kind of person who has an opioid addiction and shit like that, and you're just having people around you carry Narcan in case of overdose, like that is so retarded.
Hey, look, I know I'm not going to be able to control myself. I know I'm going to take a lethal amount of drugs. Make sure there's Narcan around. Again, it's just, I don't think it's good for us as a society, to have that cheat code.
No.
That's all.
Like, I mean, there should be some consequences for being a piece of shit. No offense.
5-star General Crakes, I don't know what this means. Thank you for your generosity, sir. But he says, thoughts on John's smegma bit? Patron only, he is uncirc. I don't know what John you're talking about.
Ew.
I don't know about a smegma bit, but thank you. I'm sorry I can't give you more of a response to that, sir.
I don't know that smegma is a fun topic.
I also know that we weren't talking about it, so I'm not prepared for the feedback. Thank you, sir.
He did pay $20.
He did pay $20. Well, here's my opinion. Great bit. I think it's
gooey.
Unequaled in this generation of comedy.
It sticks with you.
It sticks right on the tip. Right with you. Buddy Travis says, well, Aaron, you got off. Lucky that little bit of coke didn't give you adverse effects on your body. April would have left your ass there. Right?
I'd consider it.
April would have left if that one bump of cocaine had like a shitload, lethal dose of fentanyl, April would have tapped the fuck out.
Why didn't you make sure you went to somebody responsible and gets good drugs?
Yeah, why don't you pay more for your good drugs, you fucking poor person?
Exactly.
No, I just, look, I don't plan on doing a lethal amount of opioids anytime soon, so I really don't have a horse in this race. I just know that in my lifetime, we've made a lot of bad things easier to do with less and less consequences. And sometimes I think that those consequences are the edge of the blade that cut us deep enough to stop us from doing it again.
Yes.
And removing a lot of those consequences, it goes back to things like fat acceptance. Ever since Lizzo started shaking her obese ass all over the place and people were complimenting her for it, why should other people who are in bad health, and it's costing them a fortune, it's costing other people who have health insurance a fortune, we all pay more because people are choosing to be unhealthy, and then they look at someone like Lizzo and they go, well, she's celebrated and she says it's okay to look that way, or the fat model. Ashley Graham. Oh, it's totally fine to be gigantic. It's totally okay that this is, basically wearing on the trusses of my body and the support system and my kidneys and liver and heart and everything else. It's totally fine to be that way.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good. I just don't think it's a good place to be. And I get that Narcan saves the lives of people who have made terrible decisions and terrible choices with drugs. What I'm saying is putting that in a nasal spray and saying, here you go, best of luck. To me, it's the same reason I'm against having needle exchanges. Yeah, you would prefer that people shoot up with cleaner needles, but you know what else I would prefer? Consequences for the actions of not doing it. And also people not doing that.
That's how I feel. I do have some personal experiences that have me leaving. I'm pretty sour about hard drugs like that. So I do think that having Narcan at the ready is kind of enabling these people, because there is no consequence now, because you can just have it there and, oh, gee golly gosh, if I decide to OD tonight, somebody will save me.
I don't think they talk like that.
No, they're not coherent enough.
I don't think they say, gee golly gosh. In fact, I don't think anyone talks that way anymore.
I do think children should be saved. I do, because it's not their fault.
And then the parents arrested.
Yes, 100%.
Ace says, Purdue phase destroyed this country. Tell me what the Purdue phase is so I know to agree with you or not. 190 away, by the way, after General Crakes. General Crakes had a good question. Now I can understand his questions. He says, Lizzo smegma, thoughts? I try not to.
Yeah, I just got a chill.
I do. I try not to. If you're asking me my thoughts on Lizzo smegma, my honest thoughts, I try not to. Thank you for breaking me of that today.
Don't do it.
Yes. Aaron the Nutless Wonder Boy with 199 says Narcan should only be with first responders.
Yes.
That's kind of how I felt, but do you think that, pharmaceutical companies are going to say no to putting that shit in the hands of everybody to make a buck?
No, absolutely. There's going to be so many people out there, so many like housewives and shit that are just worried about their children now, and they'll all have it right on hand.
Thank you to 5-star General Crakes again with $10, says Narcan for too much smegma 2024. There we go. Thank you, General. General Crakes, I don't know where you found this show or why you decided to start being so generous.
Yeah.
Just don't turn out to be a child molester, because I am not going to take your side. I am not Elisa Jordana.
What if that's him?
Boy, I hope they don't let him use a computer to watch streaming shows on YouTube.
Yeah, they all got video game consoles and stuff now.
Rupert says Purdue phase is when Purdue Pharmaceuticals pushed Vicodin like candy and said it was non-addictive while knowing otherwise. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's not good. None of that shit is good. I mean, the pharmaceutical companies bought and paid for the politicians in this country a long time ago. And I don't think I'm, talking out of school or saying anything, danger. Oh, look out, this guy's edgy. I mean, look, it's just a fact. Pharmaceutical companies got this country to lock down, wear masks, get billions of dollars in taxpayer money absolutely free, got to release an unproven, untested drug, force people to take it or they couldn't go to school or work. And then when there were consequences to what that did, not only were we not allowed to know the full context of those consequences, but also they were immune from any repercussions of it. So if that's not owning this country, the next time you think that a president is in charge or a Congress is in charge, think about that. Think about what they got to do. And then tell me who's in charge of this country.
I would always say follow the money. That's who's in charge.
Balls Deep gifting a membership to Amy in Connecticut. Thank you very much. Oh, the generosity of these people tonight. Cerberus with $5 says, I worked at the Mille Lacs Casino as a security guard for a while. Overdoses were a constant. Hard narcotics are a nightmare, especially on the res. Yeah, and look,
Stop doing them.
There's got to be better ways to get. I understand people get addicted. I understand it's difficult. I understand you can't just go, oh, quit. People who think, oh, just stop, just quit. I mean, that's retarded too. But I just think we should be taking steps to get them to try to stop rather than making it easier to overindulge. That's all. 180 away. Thank you very much, Cerberus. Appreciate that. All right, now we can move on to other things. Got a little Elisa Jordana and a little Narcan. So there you go. You got a lethal drug and an overdose treatment. Elisa and Narcan. Perfect. Thank you guys very much. PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo, Super Chats, memberships, Rumble Rants. Rusty Grammar with $2 over on Rumble says, can we have a moment and pray for our friend Redbeard? What's the latest on Redbeard? Is he okay?
Man, he had surgery for liver failure a while back, I think.
Our buddy Redbeard was not doing okay last time we checked. Rusty, if you have any update, let us know here tonight.
Wow, that's shitty. Well, I do hope he pulls through whatever he's going through.
Redbeard's always been very cool to this program. I appreciate that, and I hope he gets better very, very soon. Oh, no, Redbeard is on hospice.
Aw.
Oh, that's not good. I know you don't need me to tell you that, but...
well, that is a real
that's a
buzzkill.
That's a bummer. Well...
There's nothing to be done? I don't even think... Isn't he younger?
Hospice, that's it. I mean, hospice is the end of the line, so to speak. That's the we're going to make you as comfortable as possible
I guess I'm going
to... It's hospice.
Reach out to him.
There you go. Balls Deep just put the PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo for Redbeard in there. If you want to throw him a couple of bucks, please do. I know we did when he was first having problems, and we probably should again. That's too bad. I like that guy.
He is young. I thought he was young. Yeah. Rusty just said 36 or 37.
God.
How is that happening? How are we...
Liver failure, yeah.
I know. There's nothing we can do for that.
Well, I mean...
I guess actually I had a classmate who was on his deathbed because he was having liver and kidney failure and he needed a new liver and he got one just in the nick of time or he'd be dead right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that with Redbeard, and I guess I hope the last days are comfortable, I suppose. Boy, anyone whose name starts with Red lately, not having a good go of it health-wise. Holy shit.
I only find one of them funny, though.
Yeah, only Redbeard is a funny one. I will say this, if you're thinking of a nickname for yourself, no, I meant as a guy. Redbeard's a funny guy. I don't think his hospice is funny.
Okay, thank you, because I read that though.
I also don't think Red Bar dying is funny. I just find it funny that he said he was going to go to a lot of people's funerals and they're going to end up going to his.
Right.
It's
funny in an ironic manner.
Kind of a foot in the mouth kind of thing for old Mikey D. They're saying Red Green is the fun. Is Red Green still alive? Because if Red Green is dead, Red Band better watch his ass because there's no more Reds left. Red Green still alive. Cross your fingers. I believe Red Green is still alive. Canadian, age 77 years old. Holy shit, he looked 77 when he was doing the Red Green show. Well, congratulations. Stephen Smith Jr. is his name. Yeah, just go by Red Green. It's a better name.
I don't know what to do. Like when I hear stuff like that, like Redbeard's in hospice, I feel so helpless. And like this weird thing washes over you. Like you can't do anything and nothing you say is going to be enough to like make that any better. What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I just say my niceties and...
Like if I say, hey, dude, I'm really sorry to hear that. That sucks. Like he's probably heard that from so many people. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, don't start with hey, dude, either
anymore.
When a guy's in hospice. Maybe something a little more formal. Sire, perhaps. Not hey, dude. Yo, bro. Sucks that you're in here in the hospice. That really sucks a fat cock, doesn't it?
I would never say
That's not the way you talk to somebody in hospice. Yo, too bad that y'all fucked up in here. Let's nice it up a little bit. Well, classiness.
I'm sorry.
So yes. Thank you to 5-star General Crakes. $5 says for the guy in hospice. All right. Well,
yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rusty Grammer, for the total bummer. A lot of people are thanking Rusty for being a complete fly in the ointment of tonight's show. But look,
I do feel gross now.
I mean, now I got to move on to Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul. I mean, what's a guy supposed to do, right? Dylan Dennis might be dead soon if he keeps up with the shit he's doing with Logan Paul. He might get his fucking head caved in.
Isn't he that little guy?
Dylan Dennis is a mixed martial artist that is fighting Logan Paul in October. And his way of trash talking Logan Paul is basically putting out old pictures and old videos of his girlfriend. I don't know if Nina Igdal is his girlfriend or fiance?
Fiance.
Okay, fiance. So they are supposed to get
Nina
married.
Ogdal.
What did I say?
I don't know, Agdal or something weird.
Hey, do you know how happy I am that I didn't fucking know her name?
She's hot. You should know her name.
Good for her. But I'm really glad that I didn't know her name. That is a badge of honor. She's a hot chick. Sorry, there's a video going off on the... Oh, it's a Logan Paul one that I was going to play.
Yeah, suddenly happy birthdays.
Yeah, happy birthday was playing in my ear. So Nina Ogdal is a woman who... She's not unattractive, as they might say. She's a supermodel, isn't she? Mm-hmm. She's a supermodel.
So, Sports Illustrated, big time.
Logan Paul is fucking a supermodel, and he's going to marry the supermodel. Hey, newsflash for the rest of the world. When a girl is a really smoking hot supermodel around just hot guys constantly, she's probably fucked 2 or 3 of them. She's probably had her fair share of sex with very attractive men. I really don't see that as the own that this Dylan Dennis is pointing out there, because what he's doing in the lead up to the fight is putting out, there's a video of her lying in a bed years ago saying, oh, I really need some dick right now. And that was like a snap or something she put out there. But
if it was before... You know, if it was a long time ago, who cares?
Who gives a shit? I mean, I hope Logan Paul didn't go into this relationship thinking Nina Ogdal was a virgin.
I mean, Pete Davidson dated Kim Kardashian, who's got, a pretty famous video out there.
Fucking sex tape.
I mean, big deal.
Triple N says, this is beyond promiscuity. Look, like I said, I don't know enough about Nina Ogdal. I know Logan Paul, obviously. I've become familiar with Dylan Dennis. I don't know enough about Nina Ogdal. But, Triple N saying this is beyond promiscuity. What's beyond promiscuity? She fucks a lot. She says she wants dick, so on and so forth. She's with Logan Paul. I don't believe she's cheated on him. He must be laying dick to her.
I always assume like all hot celebrities probably have had a lot of sex.
They've probably fucked a lot.
With like a lot of people.
Yeah. It's like buying a 2-year-old Aston Martin but it's got 120,000 miles on it. Like, say, it got used. It got taken out and driven a few miles.
Sure.
But it still looks very new. It still looks very nice, and it's still a good model.
Kept up.
It's kept up, exactly. It washes its pussy, that Aston Martin.
See, that's all you need.
He just needed to wash its pussy and his asshole. Yeah, and then that's all you need. So this Dylan Dennis now is to taunt Logan Paul before their fight, putting out pictures, putting out videos, putting out stuff from Nina Agdal's past to kind of taunt Logan Paul. Say what you want about how good of a troll it is. Say what you want about how good of a trash talking it is. It's going to here's the backfire on it. This could very well end up getting Dylan Dennis killed. This could end up getting him super fucked up in the ring.
In the ring, yeah.
Because I'll tell you something. Logan Paul is not, he's not Tyson Fury by any means. He's not Canelo Alvarez. But I've watched him. He can box.
Yeah, he's fine.
Dylan Dennis is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner. Here's what I know about Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioners and mixed martial artists in general. They suck ass at boxing. They're not any good. I can't find one that goes from just doing the Brazilian jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts to going, boom, I'm going to take a boxing fight. And they're good right off the bat. They've all sucked. The only one who's been halfway decent at it, maybe Tyron Woodley. And that was against Jake Paul when Jake Paul had like 2 or 3 fights. So he probably wasn't even very good. Yeah. Nate Diaz as a boxer was embarrassing to watch. And it actually made me not think very highly of Jake Paul. That he couldn't get Nate Diaz out of there.
That's kind of true.
Nate Diaz with those slappy nothing punches and that horrible form.
I don't like Nate Diaz. I never have.
But, you talk shit about Logan Paul and his girlfriend and how much she loves dick and this, that, and the, you better be ready to fight. Mm-hmm. What was it? Charlemagne the God once said about the phrase "suck my dick." His dad used to say, "You say suck my dick, you better be ready to kill or die." And I think if you start talking about how a woman is a whore and she loves dick and blah blah blah, and you're doing that in the lead up to a fight, you better be ready to kill or die.
Yeah.
And Dylan Dennis does not look like a guy who's ready to kill.
He doesn't look impressive at all.
No. Triple N says, I'm not sure this fight is going to happen. I'll be honest, if for Dylan Dennis' sake, if it doesn't happen, that might be better for him. Derek Fitzpatrick says Silva was a decent fight. Technique-wise, Silva was a professional boxer before he was in MMA, though. So Silva was a boxer first, then a mixed martial artist. So there's a little bit of difference. But I don't know.
Well,
interesting tact. And people seem to be loving it. They seem to be really enjoying it. A lot of people don't like Logan Paul.
I actually didn't know about this yet. Yeah.
A lot of people don't like Logan Paul, and they're liking that Dylan Dennis is. But then again, are you really shitting on Logan Paul by doing this, or are you shitting on Nina Agdal?
Well, you're shitting on Nina.
I feel like you're kind of shitting on her,
yeah, rather
than shitting on Logan. So here's the pictures he's been putting up lately. This is her with a Manchester United soccer player.
Again, big deal. They're both celebrities.
Yeah, she probably fucked a few soccer players before Logan Paul.
Right?
I would say that they probably ended up in a lot of the same clubs and ended up going home and fucking each other.
Pretend Logan Paul hasn't had sex with other people before.
I'm sure Logan Paul has fucked a lady or two.
I'm sure he has.
I think he fucked his brother's ex. Yeah.
What?
I think they did.
That's funny.
I think they're tunnel buddies.
That's kind of funny, and they still really like each other.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think they really like each other.
Really? I thought they did promotions and stuff for Prime together.
I think there's a little heat now. There's a little heat. Also, Jake knows that if he loses one more fight, if he wants a big payday, he's going to have to fight his brother. So
that would be, who wouldn't pay for that, right?
Right? The Paul brothers?
I want to see that fight.
Yeah, there's the video of Nina saying, I need some dick right now. There she is. Dylan Dennis says Brad Pitt, ? I don't know if that is Brad Pitt, but that's, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's digitally altered to include Nina Agdal next to Brad Pitt. Okay, there you go. So he's kind of just been doing that level trolling.
But that's so weak. Like, even those examples were really weak, in my opinion.
I think people really hate Logan.
Why?
So they really like that that's happening to him. They find it funny.
But kind of like you said, I don't see it as the own that they think it is.
Yeah, like your chick has probably run through some dick. She's really hot and she's been a model. Hot. Yeah, I mean, what do you want?
You would kind of expect that, and she's been around for a long time.
And again, what this is going to do is it's going to get Dylan Dennis fucking destroyed. Like,
I think so.
If you thought that, Logan Paul might just go out there and put on a show with Dylan Dennis and make it look good, now you add this part of it. If he hurts Dylan Dennis, he might lean in a little more than he would have, maybe previously. Zen Rhino says both Logan and Jake Paul have been douchebags since they were little kids. I mean, maybe. But again, it kind of seems like you're talking shit about the chick more than you are the dude.
That's how I see it.
Nina's sex partners are like wrenches in the live chat, says Mel Gibson after 12 beers. Very funny.
That's funny.
Very good. I don't know. As far as that fight goes in October, I think Logan's going to win. If he doesn't, he should quit boxing. Ugh. If he can't, what an embarrassment.
Because I feel like Dennis is like this tiny little shit too.
Zen Rhino says there are about 5 MMA fighters who have legit boxing skills. Francis Ngannou is one.
Yes.
Holly Holm is another. She was the WBA world champion in boxing. So
I always liked Holly. You kind of told me you didn't like her though, right?
I never really thought highly one way or the other.
Oh, I always used to like her quite a bit.
Holly Holm. As she gets older, I root for her because I always want old fighters to do well and not get the shit kicked out of them.
A big name like that.
Zen Rhino says Francis Ngannou is one of them. Francis Ngannou has good boxing skills for MMA. Francis Ngannou is not going to be a good professional boxer, especially since he's going to fight Tyson Fury in his first professional boxing bout. I get the payday. Look, he'll never have to fight again. And that's awesome.
But he totally will do it.
You're going to get fucking killed. I mean,
I do hate that somebody with the physique of a Tyson Fury is going to beat up that of a Francis Ngannou.
A guy like me loves that. I'm going to be rooting for Tyson Fury so hard. I look at his body and I see a kindred spirit. I go, oh, good, look.
Francis is a total specimen. And if you just look at the physicality of Tyson Fury, it's kind of pathetic, honestly.
But it doesn't matter
he's
because
just big,
physically he's a freak. He's an anomaly in the ring.
I've never questioned his skills, but he is not attractive.
A guy 6'8", 270 pounds should not be able to move like that. It's wrong. It should be illegal. And
it should be studied.
Yeah, and he can hit and he can move and he can dodge. Francis Ngannou is going to get hurt against Tyson Fury unless Tyson is a showman about it and just kind of takes it easy on him. Kind of like when Mayweather had McGregor against the ropes and he didn't, unload and completely fuck him up. He just kind of, landed a few good shots and the ref stopped it.
Well,
I don't know. I certainly want them to keep, because I'm worried that they'll put Ngannou in there with Fury and then Fury will mop the floor with them and then they'll go, well, Francis, you hit the hardest in MMA. Deontay Wilder hits the hardest in boxing. I don't want them to throw Francis Ngannou in there with Deontay Wilder because then if Ngannou or if Fury doesn't kill him, Wilder might. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to see that.
I don't know about boxing skill for Ngannou, but he has punch power. But that doesn't equate to you got to have a lot of mental skills for boxing.
As Teddy Atlas says, it doesn't mean much to have a bomb if you don't have a missile to get it to the target. Her body count is higher than Fury's KO count, says Balls Deep. Dude,
but that isn't a celebrity, a hot chick, like somebody you'd expect a body count to be high. I know fucking bitches from my high school whose body count is ridiculous. And they can't even remember.
And they don't even get to fuck Logan Paul.
And they're not hot. I mean, Jesus Christ. I expect it from her.
Triple N says, nah, Ngannou should do this one match and call it a day. I agree. There's no reason for him to go out there and start getting his brains beat in a sport that's foreign to him. I don't mind if Francis Ngannou wants to go and start a boxing career from I'm going to fight the number 300 ranked heavyweight in the world and then move up from there and just kind of move up the ranks and get to 10-0, 12-0, 15-0. Yeah, like the 300 ranked heavyweight. Yeah, that's where
that doesn't sound like that guy'd be very impressive.
No, but that's how you start a boxing career. You fight at the bottom, and then you run up 5, 10, 15, 20 wins, and then you start stepping it up a little bit. But he doesn't have time to do that. He's too old.
I don't think he's young anymore.
Take the payday. Mick Marshall says, I think Francis has a better shot versus Wilder compared to Fury. Wilder is fundamentally poor. He just has that eraser. Deontay Wilder is fundamentally poor while knocking out championship level professional boxers. He's going to look much better technically against a novice like Francis Ngannou. So I'd rather not see Francis take those shots. I don't want to see him fight Fury, but I understand making a shitload of money and then bailing. I get that. Mick Marshall says, Lemmy says, I wish more women valued purity.
I think it's not just women. I don't think it's just women. There's so many dudes out there who don't care how many people they have sex with. They don't care at all.
Well, and I don't know if it's so much purity, but more so the attitude toward it.
That's a good point.
If women fuck a lot, look, everybody can fuck whoever they want to fuck. That's totally fine. That's a personal thing. But it's about like the way you carry yourself regarding it. Like if you're going
I agree with that.
If you're going to make that part of who you are, like, oh, I get so much dick and I fuck so much. I had to make that it started as a black voice and I had to change it up.
Did you change it though? It sounded pretty consistent.
I was thinking of Krishan Rock.
Oh, please, can we talk about her though?
We got that for tomorrow.
Oh.
The Krishan Rock Blueface story. I'll give you guys a little teaser.
A taste?
An aunt of Blueface claims that he and Krishan Rock are cousins.
I thought it was his mother.
I read aunt.
Oh, I thought mother.
Could be mother. But yeah, they're
allegedly cousins.
They're cousins and they just had a kid together. So
how many toesies does that thing have?
Triple N says, haha, that was black voice. Okay, if a woman goes out and she's like, oh, I get so much dick and this, that, and the other thing, it's the same as a guy, who's a fucking douche and he goes, oh man, I slay so much pussy, all that. Like anybody who really goes like aggressive in your face with how much they fuck.
That?
That's how people sound when they talk about fucking a lot. But anybody who lives that way is going to be less attractive to a quality partner. But if you fuck a lot and you just kind of keep it to yourself and that's just kind of what you do, you meet someone, you like them, you fuck them, the next person isn't going to know unless you advertise it and you carry yourself that way.
Oh my God. That is so important, I think, too, because I've known both the people you just described, like people that have had sex with a lot of people, and you don't know unless you ask them.
Right.
Just, oh, hey, what's your body count? Haha. And the answer will surprise you sometimes.
If you don't want to know, just don't ask the question.
Yeah, but you're right. There are people out there that are like, oh, God, I just fuck so much.
Right. It's like,
I'm like, I don't want to be just another person. You're just saying, oh, I've had sex with so-and-so and then 500 other people.
Yeah.
So
I think ultimately the Nina Agdal, Dylan Dennis, Logan Paul thing, I think Logan Paul's going to beat him in the fight, and that's the last laugh.
Kind of sounds like Nina should step in the ring with Dan.
She gets around at the end. Let's switch gears a little bit here. By the way, you guys have gotten us under 200 well before the top of the hour. You still, for 15 minutes before it, I think in the first 20 minutes, you guys got us to 180 tonight. So holy shit, thank you. 180 away. There's the Streamlabs, PayPal, and Venmo, the best ways to support the show if you'd like to do it that way. Otherwise, super chats, memberships, Rumble rants, those are great too. If you feel like dropping in a couple of bucks, we're not even that far from striking distance tonight.
Thank you.
We've got an hour and change left to go. Tucker continues to make headlines with his X or Twitter show that he's doing. The one he did after. I guess he has to do the Twitter thing because of his Fox contract, he can't sign another contract, or he has to give back the Fox money or something like that. I think they're paying him to stay off the air.
But he's killing it anyway, so what's it matter?
He's doing very well on Twitter. He did the Trump interview, obviously, and literally hundreds of millions of people watched that.
Insane.
It's incredible. Well, now, the other thing I like about Tucker being on X, I'm calling it Twitter.
Nobody calls it X.
Well, because I'm basically inferring that Tucker Carlson's doing drugs. Although I would like to see Tucker on X. I think that would be great to watch him interview Joe Biden on ecstasy.
Does it make me a shitty person if I say I'd like to party with him and see him on X?
Just see, let's
dance.
Yeah, just dose Tucker Carlson, see what happens.
Right?
Yeah.
Go dance with him a little bit.
Put some Coke in his tea and it's time to dance.
Yeah.
But Tucker Carlson, he can do whatever he wants on his show now. There were a lot of things on his show. Like when he asked Donald Trump, do you think they're going to try to kill you? Like Fox News would have cut that question out. We can't put that question on the air. Oh, what's our responsibility as a news network and blah, blah, blah.
That's too aggressive.
Now Tucker can just do shit. Wait till you see the teaser for tomorrow's episode and what he's talking about and the guest he has on. This is Tucker, completely free, getting to do what he wants on Twitter.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah. Pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for Coke.
Wait, go back.
Look at that guy. What?
This guy is telling stories about how he met Obama in a bar and did Coke with him, and Tucker's just like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, I think Tucker's great with his faces. He's a pro.
To pay for Coke, I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had
Now, is this before or after you lost all your teeth?
I hope before.
I need to know what kind of guy Barack was into.
He actually only has sex with the holes between his teeth.
Look, man, I would be completely skeptical and disregard this immediately if this was the first guy who claimed that he fucked Barack Obama. I would just say this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is just Tucker clout chasing, whatever.
It's been alleged before.
But there's been multiple people who have claimed that they've been involved in some kind of homosexual butt fucking.
Kind of makes the
Obama.
Kind of makes the allegations about Michelle a little more believable.
Right, exactly. It makes you skeptical about everything. You know, if if Barack would just come out now and say that these stories were true, he's the first gay president.
Oh my God.
There you go, first black and gay president. And now
does the whole country's heads explode no matter who you are?
I know homeboy doesn't have to be on the down low anymore. Which has got to be liberating.
It has to be liberating.
Yeah.
Lubricating.
Yeah.
twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice. You had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like what is this?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't his last.
What he's trying to say is Barack knew his way around a cock.
We gotta tune in. And a butthole, maybe.
And a butthole. A cock, a butthole, a mouth.
Wait, is he pitching or catching? Do you think? I think he's pitching.
Barack seems like a switch to me. Like he could do both. Yeah, Barack seems like, yeah.
I only said that because I feel like the guy on the screen we just saw was probably catching.
Yeah. That guy seems like a catcher.
A little feminine.
Yeah. The guy catches his teeth as they fall out of his head.
Every thrust, another tooth flies out.
Running for president and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
What a weird way to put it. If the media actually cared about people telling the truth, they talk about how Barack Obama's dick was in my asshole.
Yeah, now he's kind of put me in a weird position where it's like, well, I kind of have always said I don't need to know about your sex life.
Yeah.
You know, like, so if he is having sex with dudes, I really don't care.
Right. Nobody's, they've talked to this guy before. I think that's that Larry Sinclair. If I'm wrong, then it's somebody else who says that
a steamy love affair.
Yeah. Had a steamy love affair. So I don't know. Do I believe that Barack Obama butt fucks dudes? I'll tell you what I think. I think a lot of powerful men regard sex as transactional and they don't see it as gay or straight.
It's just sex.
They're fucking somebody.
I could see that happening. Yeah.
I think a lot of powerful men, they're not into gay or straight. They just fuck.
Dude, I think I think that probably could happen a lot.
Balls Deep says, remember, folks, Google Play points are redeemable for super chats. Yes, that's true. You can, we forgot to tell people that. You can take your Google points, convert them to Google Play dollars, and support the show with those, if you'd like. I've seen a few people do it. It's pretty cool.
I'd never seen mine before, and actually, I updated my phone the other day. I finally see my Google points. I'm like on bronze level or something. I should donate them to my show.
Balls Deep gifting a membership to Pig Riser.
Nice.
Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Love those. Love you becoming a member as well. I think we're going to start putting more shows on members only just to give the members a little more incentive and give them a little something extra for supporting the show. Mel Gibson, after 12 beers, says, Tucker and Larry Sinclair had a steamy interview in what looked like a log cabin.
I love all of Tucker's stuff right now.
Obama, you mean Barry Soetoro. I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
Joey C., Mr. and Mrs. Steeltoe, good evening. Good evening, Joey C. Good to see you.
Good evening.
Danny MB says, well, have Obama come out and say this is fake. Well, here's the problem if you're Barack Obama. It's kind of like the point that Donald Rumsfeld made when Louis C.K. was asking him if he was a lizard. When he said, could you imagine if I answered that question?
That's how I feel about most things that people say that are ridiculous. I'm like, should I really be addressing that?
Does it really make me look good to deny this?
Well, not only that, but like, does it change anything? People still have their opinions.
Not only that, now you're just going to introduce more people to the things this guy is saying about you.
Right, and they'll clip pasta the things that you've said about the topic now to make it sound like whatever they wanted.
Yeah, so if Obama responds to this, now a lot more people are going to hear about the Larry Sinclair thing. They're going to know about these accusations, and they're going to kind of forget that Barack Obama denied it, and they're just going to go, holy shit, listen to that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Let's see if this was very funny, and now I lost it in the chat. Zen Rhino, it doesn't matter whether you're pitching or catching, April. You're still playing ball. Both of them are gay.
This is true. I don't know. What do you think about like girls then? Like a lot of girls maybe don't have sex with each other, I guess, but they just like hang out in like bars and parties and shit and end up kissing or something stupid, or with like a dude sharing him or something. I don't know. Is that transactional
is that
too?
Something? Is that something you know from experience back in the day?
Is that just
sharing dudes and making out in bars?
No.
What are you, some kind of an MTV girl?
I've not done that.
Just checking. Your prostate.
No, is that the same thing? Is that just transactional then? Like it's just
I don't know. Well, it's in the mind of that person, but I just feel like if you're a very powerful person, it's kind of that way.
Okay.
No Pen 15 Fathead says if it's false, Obama could sue, but he has to prove the crackhead wrong. Well, that's just like addressing it.
Right, because then we might be digging into that part of your life, and do you really want that out there?
Again, do you really want people to hear this guy's fucking story? Is it really worth it when you can just go, oh, that guy's insane, and ignore it, you know?
Right, look at the guy missing half his teeth. Yeah, what are you going to do? Like,
you can kind of just point to the guy and go, come on.
Look at it.
Look at this motherfucker.
Would I have sex with that? No.
Yeah, that's a good defense for Barack Obama. He should go, look, if I was going to fuck a dude, you don't think I'd pick a hotter dude than that?
Right, give me a Brad Pitt.
Or just be really racist about it and be like, I ain't fucking with no cracker-ass cracker.
Oh, he's like an Idris Elba kind of guy.
Yeah, he's like, I like dark meat. And then that way you can deny the whole thing, but then you still kind of come out as gay.
Dark meat always does have more flavor. I don't know about the guys, though. Mostly chicken, in my opinion.
That's enough out of you. You're fired. Get the fuck out of here.
He would do.
You are dumb. You are out the door as far as I'm concerned.
I like some thigh meat.
Oh, no. That's it, guys. She's not only does she have to go, but we have to burn her at the stake now. That's the rules.
Are you divorcing me first, or are you going to take out a life insurance policy?
As the code, I actually have to take the ring off as you're burning to death. Yeah, it's part of the ritual.
This is interesting.
It's part of the ritual.
Mixed breeds, communists, homosexuals, and all other walks of godless degeneracy.
Obama's Mel Gibson after 12 beers. Jesus, man, maybe you should cut back to 6. Good Lord, thank you.
What happened?
He just wrote something about Barack Obama that is very offensive to say on YouTube. I can tell you that much.
So it's fun, you mean?
It was very funny. I'm not saying it wasn't funny. All right, kids, 180 away from tonight's goal.
I saw it.
Yeah, it said that. You know, this was very strange to me. I didn't think this needed to be an article. I didn't think this needed to be something reported. But Bob Barker's cause of death has been revealed.
What, it's old?
He was 99 years old. I don't care what they say the cause of death was. The cause of death was being old as fuck.
He's too old.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we need to get the official cause of death as to why this 99-year-old died. Why? So we can figure out what he had that didn't let him live to 99 and 1 month older?
I don't like your lack of enthusiasm for researching this shit, Aaron.
Apparently, it was a result of his battle with Alzheimer's disease.
So a symptom of being old.
A symptom of being really fucking old.
God,
That's what it was.
TMZ really does try too hard.
Right? We don't need to know everything.
It's fine. Like, you could have just left it alone and not put it out there that he had Alzheimer's. I don't know. Not that it really changes much, but...
But, I mean, to say that, like, hey, guys, breaking news. We have the cause of death of Bob Barker. And you're like, dude, we know. No, you don't know. We need to tell you. He was 99. We know. Nuh-uh, you're going to be surprised. All right, go ahead. What was it? He died from complications of Alzheimer's. That's being old. That's a being old thing.
Right.
He died of being 99.
It's like if Lizzo died right now, what do you think the cause of death is?
Obviously, just being too pretty and baller would be.
Now
why
that
she
would be
died.
a surprise.
Not a melon baller, though. That's healthy food. She does not bother with that kind of
Use
stuff.
a melon baller and you later.
Do you think she uses a vibrating canoe oar to masturbate? I would imagine that would be...
I don't know, but where can I get one? Just kidding.
I believe Dick's Sporting Goods.
Nah, they don't like that kind of fun. They're out of fun, the business of fun now.
Bob Barker's death was a result of his battle with Alzheimer's disease. Well, that was like Jimmy Buffett. They came out and they went, oh, man, he died from skin cancer. I'm like, well, at least it makes sense.
Yeah, his skin was like that of a couch.
Yeah.
A leather
Or-
couch.
Steve Harwell. They're like, oh, Steve Harwell, the lead singer of Smash Mouth, he died of liver disease. Oh, you mean the guy who every time we've seen him on video has been so fucked up he can't finish his shows? You're saying that guy drank his liver into cancellation? I don't believe it.
Are you telling me that Chris Farley actually overdosed?
That's the rumor.
I can't believe it.
So Bob Barker died from Alzheimer's disease. What? Actually, I know how Lizzo died.
She died already.
Yeah, I actually know the story of how Lizzo died.
Okay.
You see, there was a fisherman and a police officer and an oceanographer. And they were, Lizzo was chasing them in a boat they were in. And they actually threw an oxygen tank in Lizzo's mouth and then shot it with a rifle. And they blew her into 1,000 pieces. It was remarkable.
God.
We actually,
Wow, see, now that is shocking.
we actually have video of Lizzo's death.
I would love to see it.
If you don't know, let's go and find the news story of the breaking news of Lizzo passing away. I think we have it for you here. Yes, this was very sad.
Indeed, the seagulls had been standing nearby all day.
Oh, that's
As
terrible.
everything was being made ready, we asked George Thornton, the highway engineer in charge of the project, for his final observation.
So there's Lizzo. And this was a very, very sad way to see someone go. Yeah,
Kind of rude.
it's
it's me.
horrible. I really don't think they thought this through.
A little distasteful.
Yeah. And then you just hear the thudding of her skin and look at it. Look at
Her
pieces of Lizzo just falling all over the place.
Stop rolling.
That is terrible. That is no way. That is no way to see a legend go.
Cut down in her prime.
Cut down in her
It
prime.
really did her wrong.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't like it.
It actually makes me sad inside.
Lark Bark says, wow, that's awful. I agree. They shouldn't have done that. That is a disgusting moment that I hope no human being ever has to go through
It's kind of scarring.
ever again.
I mean, there was children around.
Sure. I mean,
Can
it's
you
a
imagine the
terrible thing.
smell too? Like,
Awful.
probably need counseling for that.
You should. Guys, go ahead and hit like if you're on Rumble. It helps with the, as they call it, the algorithm. We appreciate that. Hit like on YouTube if you feel like contributing to the program. We are 180 away from tonight's goal. If you would like to contribute, again, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, all the links are in the chat. Go ahead and use one of those. Throw in a couple of bucks towards Steel Toe. And let's knock that out. If we get that down to 0, we do 30 minutes of overtime at the end of the hour. We tack on another 30 minutes onto the show. You guys got us off to a great start. We really appreciate it. Now let's get the rest of the way there. About 50 minutes until we rattle the offering plate and try to knock out the whole thing. 180 away. Not too bad. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Keep her up. Generation Z continues to set themselves up as the generation that the older generation will hate, which is keeping a trend alive that has been going on since pretty much forever. And it's because they want to do shit that's different than what we did. And sometimes that's better. Sometimes the generation before wants to do different things, and we find out it's an improvement from how we used to do things, and we get bitter and cunty about it, and we hate them. Or They just want to do really, really dumb shit. And we hate them for that. Now, our generation did really dumb shit when we were young. And Generation X and the baby boomers shit on us for that. So now it is our God-given right as millennials to watch what the younger generation does, and we get to have a very healthy amount of therapeutic hatred for how stupid they are.
Yes.
That's the most fun about getting older is
That
you
is
get to look
fun.
at young people being stupid and go, ha ha, I hate you.
God, that is something I take for granted sometimes.
Right. And I think
It's a fun pastime.
I think as long as we admit what it is, because we always like to say, oh, this generation is the absolute worst generation. No, what it is every generation ahead of the other hates the younger one. Some of it's in spite of their youth. Mm-hmm. And some of it is because when you're young, you do really stupid shit and the older people get to laugh and make fun of you for it.
You big buffoons.
So now Generation Z women, so we get to laugh twice. Generation Z
Because women are so funny.
Yeah, you remember a while back, there was that Reddit, or was it a Reddit or a 4chan thing? I can't remember. But it was a thing on the internet that said, the newest thing in feminism is free bleeding. Is when you have your period, you just bleed, you let it go because it's natural, it's part of nature, and using any kind of pads or anything like that is male oppression of women's freedom.
Oh, really?
It was started by a bunch of 4chan guys. And then enough stupid women shared it and saw it that marathon runners and stuff were doing it. And they were posting pictures of them with blood running down their leg during the race. And it just looked fucking disgusting. It was terrible. Well, for some reason, it won't die. It is the 4chan troll that will not die. Kind of like the OK sign, meaning white power.
Sure.
It's been disproven so many times, but people grab onto something and they just won't let it go.
But finish your thought.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be mad.
Let's do a show here. Go ahead. Keep it moving.
Why is it always got to be like, oh, it's male oppression and every bodily function I do is just so beautiful and natural? No. Why can't something just be disgusting and we use tampons because we don't want shit running down our leg all day?
Because when you're a hammer, the whole world looks like a nail. If you're looking for male oppression, you will find male oppression. And if you don't find it in the normal places, you will make it up and get what you need.
Okay, but
so this free bleeding thing looked good on paper to some women, and they went, you know what? Yeah, free bleeding, that's the thing. Well, now apparently it's happening enough, and of course TikTok is helping, that it's actually become reported in the New York Post. The trend is called free bleeding, which means that you don't wear anything to absorb the blood when you're menstruating. To be even clearer, it's about not using anything to block your flow. The trend has become a popular topic of conversation on TikTok.
Of course.
Young women are sharing their experiences. You know what's remarkable about TikTok is never in the history of humanity have we had the ability to help people spread super stupid ideas quicker.
Oh, it's lightning speed.
I mean, it's just boom.
That's at the real Project Warp Speed or whatever it was.
And you know what's remarkable is really, really smart people don't do it because really, really smart people are always questioning themselves and wondering if the thing they're thinking is right and does it check out factually. The beautiful thing about the stupid is that they get a TikTok and right away they have a thought, boom, it's got to go up there. It's perfect. It's just, and I get to say it out of my face.
Do people understand that on occasion it's okay to keep some thoughts in your noggin?
Maybe, but not when you have TikTok. You got to share this stuff with people.
Yeah, but then you run the risk of finding a lot of people who don't agree with you as well.
So free bleeding never was a thing. It was never something invented by feminists. It was always a 4chan troll, and women are now embracing it, putting it on TikTok. And, you know, TikTok doesn't have a fact check feature. You know, TikTok doesn't have somebody who comes on after you watch a TikTok and go, hey, the thing you just saw is utterly retarded. Don't do this. It's
like a warning.
Incredibly stupid. Don't ever, this isn't even a real thing. So instead, if you just see something and you're incredibly impressionable, AKA stupid, you can see something like free bleeding and going, yeah, I like her TikTok. She's one of my feminist sisters. I think we should all band together and do this. Now, I am yet to be explained to as to how just leaking period blood all over yourself is empowering as a woman. But I'm sure if I made them give me some bullshit reason, they'd whip something up.
I'll tell you what the reasoning is. It's just beautiful because it's our body's natural process. But never once in my life have I inserted a tampon and thought, oh God, it's just male oppression and just makes me sad. I do it because like I want to show that I take care of myself. I'm clean. I don't want to wreck my clothes. I don't want to
You don't want to have to sleep in the barn.
I don't want to sleep in the barn anymore.
Exactly.
I don't want to wreck a sofa I'm sitting on, or God forbid I'm in public sitting on something and there's fucking blood left on the seat when I get up. Are you kidding me?
That's like men saying, you know what's empowering? Just shitting wherever you are.
Like, oh, I'm just a man who's just going to take a diarrhea shit on an airplane or something.
I mean, sometimes that happens, but you can't control it. You know, it's not on purpose.
It's not beautiful, girls. It's not. I'm sorry. It's something tragic and unfortunate.
Well, here we go.
Really.
This is one of the TikToks.
Acting so pressed, just like the fucking audio.
Ew.
And I knew it. Some of you guys are actually asking, what does free bleeding actually mean and how can you actually do it? So free bleeding is when you don't block the flow at all, not even with the pads or the underwear. So I try to free bleed, which means I stay at home when I'm on my period and
Okay, there's one positive. Quit trying to sell me on this.
That's a little bit of a silver lining.
I'm actually starting to think that I might support people who do this because the people who would fall for this kind of thing, I don't really want to see them out in public.
She's remarkably hateable, though, and if you're a dude, I feel bad for that person who has to go to her apartment someday and see all the red stains all over the place.
Hey, did you have salsa earlier on this chair?
Marinara? Anything?
What's going on?
I intentionally don't go out to the store, don't go out to restaurants. Like I stay home and bleed because that's what my body is doing and I honor that.
But you're disabling yourself for a whole week now.
How about all women sync up and free bleed on election day? There we go. Feminism. I mean, that is powerful. Don't let the man tell you what to do. You be your own woman and you free bleed in the house.
My brief opinion on that is like you're now disabling yourself for an entire week. You are letting your own body rule your life for a week. You have to stay home.
Hey, stop selling. I'm sold.
Like it just shows weakness, though.
I'm all ready for it.
Ooh, my uterus is having a problem, this week. And
yeah, right. I'm already good. I'm good. I'm for it now.
Yeah, but it just furthers how weak fucking women are, though.
Again, stop drilling. You've struck oil.
There's better ways.
Not for me.
I don't know a single man who's into the free bleeding, not beating.
Look, we're going to lock you in a room and you don't get to talk to anybody until it's done.
Not even the dog.
I was against this.
You can't have the dog in that room.
Look, I was against this when we started.
You flipped.
I'm starting to see the pros.
Okay.
And if I do have to go out, then I will use the absorbable underwear. Hell no, am I ever going to stick something inside of me while I'm bleeding? No. So if I'm at home and I'm on my period, then I just lay in bed with a towel or on my couch with a towel. And I actually really love
like a dog.
There's literally nothing wrong or oppressive about using tampons or pads. There's nothing. Or they have these new, like if you don't, I understand certain women's ideas of putting chemicals and shit in their body with tampons. They make organic ones now, right? Much healthier.
South Park told us about Cherokee hair tampons years ago.
Yeah, of course. They do make underwear now where you just wear the underwear and they're like ultra absorbent and you just wash them.
God,
like there are it's kind of like the whole like abortion and pregnancy thing. Like there's so many ways to avoid this now.
It's just so amazing. Like the things guys need when they have a body problem and the things women need like 17 different options. Some of them need to be organic and guys are like, can I duct tape this finger back on?
I prefer that. I also don't want chemicals in my body, but I found a way around that.
The feeling of cramps and like the contractions of like birthing the uterine lining. The whole point of free bleeding is to just tune into what your body is actually doing and honor that process. This makes my periods orgasmic.
I fucking hate her.
She seems like she's talking to shitloads of people on TikTok.
No offense, she's in the minority. No woman out there.
But she has a big audience.
There's not a single woman that can honestly, they can lie if they want, but like there's not a single woman out there that enjoys that process. It doesn't feel good. It's not fun. And you like your whole body feels like shit for a few days.
G-Chup says, get her a ShamWow. I think she might need some kind of super absorbable towel.
Just even how somebody like that talks, like there's something wrong with you. Like you need something to make you important.
Some women have that kind of mental illness when it comes to their periods that they have to, it can't just be a thing their body does. There has to be some greater thing about it.
That's all I've ever thought when I fucking have my period. I'm like, it's just another fucking shitty thing I gotta do.
There was one lady who hated Trump so much that she decided she was going to make her periods an act of, anti-Trump activism. and she painted a portrait of Trump in her menstrual blood.
I remember that chick.
Yeah. And she's totally normal and doesn't need any therapy or anything like that.
She's beautiful, too. It's just beautiful, isn't it?
It's so, yes.
So beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
You want to buy her artwork?
Ugh.
Do you want to make a period blood mask for your face? Because it's so beautiful and healthy.
So wonderful. 180 away from today. Let's keep knocking that down. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, memberships, and Rumble rants. I am going to the Rumble chat every once in a while. Just Rumble's dead tonight. That's all. So I'm not ignoring Rumble. It's just, again, it's just Rumble's dead. It happens. What are you going to do? Hit like, hit subscribe, follow the show. We appreciate it. And let's continue on here as we continue to knock that goal down and make it a successful first day of the week for Steel Toe. Thank you for knocking out this morning. We'll knock out this evening and call it a success. I was telling you about this earlier today. You know, April watches tennis when the big tournaments are on. And I told her, I said, you know, there was an incident at the U.S. Open where somebody yelled out Heil Hitler during the U.S. So they just shouted it out while they were playing, just yelled it.
I didn't really believe him.
And it was, you know, the day before that, I saw an article where they were talking about how they've seen a growth in like unprofessional, drunken behavior from the fans at the U.S. Open this year. Like there were more drunks running around, more people getting shit-faced and shouting from the crowd.
Right.
But tennis is supposed to be more like golf, where it's a little more, you know, like
straight lace.
Yeah, like a picnic, and we have, you know, prim and proper etiquette, and we don't yell out and scream. And I guess they're turning it into like a Happy Gilmore type of deal, which I like. I think that's great. I think that could lead to more funny moments. I think
It doesn't
could lead,
bother me.
Yeah, to more hilarity. I mean, tennis can come out of the 1800s and come into the 2020s. That's fine with me. But U.S. Open fans were buzzing on social media about the spectator who was ejected from Arthur Ashe Stadium after jeering German player Alexander Zverev with language from Adolf Hitler's Nazi regime. However, some have noted that the person with whom he was attending the match was allowed to stay. One reaction was that of Barstool Sports owner Dave Portnoy, who tweeted, "Did the girl stay when her date got the boot for the Hitler slur? Unreal theater at the Open." It's possible the woman choosing to stay seated didn't want to be associated with the unruly fan. Or how about this? You pay a fortune for tennis tickets.
I would love to go to the U.S. Open and watch some of the big names.
Right, it's really expensive to go and get tickets
I can't
to that.
afford that.
And if a guy, you know, yells out something stupid while you're sitting next to him and he gets kicked out and he looks at you and goes, "You coming out with me?" Like, fuck no. Are you kidding how much I paid for these seats? I'm not the one who yelled it. You did. I'm staying.
I'll be honest. Like, if you stood up and yelled Heil Hitler at the U.S. Open, I'm letting you get walked out of that building.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there.
I would never do that at the U.S. Open.
I bet you wouldn't.
In my living room, you know, whatever.
He does it to the U.S. Open in his living room.
Yeah, I'll yell it at the U.S. Open, but not when I'm physically at the U.S. Open. I mean, I like to be in the comfort of my own home, if at all possible.
And naked, usually.
Naked, yes, with a massive erection.
Yes.
It's possible the woman chose to stay because she didn't want to be associated with him. A man has been escorted from Arthur Ashe Stadium at the U.S. Open for yelling a Hitler phrase. One person posted on X. The woman he was with stayed in her seat as he walked out. Even she didn't want to be in his company. Well, you don't want to be walking out with the Sieg Heil guy who just yelled out Hitler shit.
Yeah, there's a chance this relationship's over now because you embarrassed the shit out of her so bad.
By the way, you can definitely tell that this guy just yelled something really offensive because take a look at the eyeballs.
Everyone's looking.
Literally everyone is looking back at this guy.
Well, even when you told me this happened, I didn't believe you. So if you hear that in real life, you're probably looking around like, holy shit.
And the irony of it, it looks like it's got the complexion of a Nuremberg rally. So like even all these white people are like, Jesus Christ, dude, you can't just yell that out.
It's pretty weird.
Oh, and I love how he's kind of looking up at the security guard as if to say, come on, man, what? Give me a break.
What?
What did I do?
What did I do?
Yeah, come on.
Like, dude, even if I'm fine with somebody saying that in the comfort of my own home, like I just... Like I cannot have
Which
that in public.
apparently you are, I guess.
I need you to have a sense of decorum when we're in public, okay?
And you should never have to
like
in the car on the way to a public event, you should never have to look at your partner and go, okay, you promised me tonight you're not going to yell Sieg Heil. That's not a promise you should have to make. That should just kind of be an unspoken thing.
I went to a Sam's Club once with a couple of my guy friends, large black men, who decided to...
By the way, years before me.
Yeah, he doesn't allow that friendship anymore.
Thank you.
He said you can't be friends.
I said you stop being friends with them or you're out of here.
You're right. We can get married, but under one condition.
Yeah,
no more black friends.
This has got to go.
But no, I walked into a Sam's Club with two large black men once, and they started yelling the N-word in the freezer section. And you know what I did?
Yes.
I completely disowned them in the store. I didn't want to. I went to the other aisle.
April,
I didn't want to be by them.
April, you're not allowed to own them in the first place anymore.
But you see,
that's.
Oh wow,
yeah.
I did say that, didn't I?
Disown, own.
But
both of those things are not allowed by the Constitution of the United States.
We got in the car later. We met up later at the car, and I'm like, dude, you guys can say that at the barbecue. You can't say that in Sartell Sam's Club.
Zverev, the number 12 seed, was serving at 2-2 in the fourth set of his match against Yannick Sinner when he suddenly went to chair umpire James Keothavong and pointed toward the fan who was sitting in a section behind the umpire. He just, this is the quote, the tennis player said, he just said the most famous Hitler phrase there is in the world.
What a weird thing.
That'd be fun if the side judge went, you mean Achtung Juden? No, not that one. You mean Arbiek macht frei? No, not that one. You mean not we will conquer Europe? No, like he just like the umpire just knows way too many Hitler quotes and he just starts rattling them off.
He starts quoting Mein Kampf.
Yeah, he's like, you mean page 13, paragraph 6 of Mein Kampf? Like, no.
Chapter and verse.
How do you know that? It's not okay. So he told the judge it's not acceptable. The judge turned backward and asked the fan to identify himself, to which he went, it was me.
It was me.
You see, you just have to imagine how my hand looked.
Right.
Off camera.
I guess that doesn't fit in there, does it?
Keothavong turned back and asked the fan to identify himself, then asked fans to be respectful to both players. And judging by how everyone was looking at him after he said it, you would probably think, hey, who said that? They all just went, poof.
Yes, you don't want to be the one, because what if you look sus? Like,
yeah, you got a
look
little Charlie Chaplin mustache.
Yeah, something like that.
They all looked at that guy. He's like, it wasn't me. I would never say something like that. I just find the mustache stylish.
You're wearing an armband for some reason.
Yeah, but it's like a PETA armband. You're like, I'm just here for the animals, bro. Then during the changeover, shortly after Zverev held serve, the fan was identified by spectators, bunch of rats, seated near him, and he was removed by security.
What a bunch of tattletits.
Yeah, what a bunch of rats.
Guys just trying to enjoy the U.S. Open, for God's sakes.
Yeah. You know what they said? They said they looked at the judge and they went, yeah, he's up in the attic there. And like, you bunch of snitches. You couldn't hide him, could you? Hulkamasha Baby says a white girl and two black guys walk into a store. I've seen that porno before.
Do you know what it's like to have
I haven't.
Do you know what it's like to have all the Sartell soccer moms shopping for freezer food?
Oh,
staring at you as the little white girl with two black men.
Just can't imagine going to a grocery store with two large black men. That's the part I can't.
Hey, I met one this weekend who seemed very nice.
Well, I mean, yeah, for a while.
You like him too.
It's my buddy.
He's very nice.
Mel Gibson, after 12 beers, says game, set, Anschluss. He said the most famous Hitler phrase. Oh, you mean Lebensraum? No, Judge. How are you? You know way too many Hitler phrases.
Why do the courts have wooden doors? Damn it.
Oh, man. Hey, is whenever Farley the Farley Burge Zone? If so, welcome, buddy.
I kind of hope so.
Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
I thought he was getting off his channel.
I thought he was done, and he's back now. Well, that's a little look at the U.S. Open. That's really the only part I care to cover for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed our U.S. Open coverage here on Steel Toe.
Hold on. So you're meaning to tell me there's no movement now for like anti-Semitic like hate and all that stuff? Like, you know, no raising awareness of like all the hatred in this country. And
fuck no, they've got tennis to play. Are you kidding me?
Isn't that something?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of rich people out there. They don't want to be preached to. They want to do the preaching.
I like that response though. Like somebody stands up and yells Heil Hitler and they just kind of kick him out instead of causing a fuss.
They just go, get the fuck out of here. All right, back to tennis. Your serve.
That's how it should be.
That's exactly. They handled it perfectly.
Yeah.
They beer hall pooched him out of the game, if you will. Thank you, Mel Gibson, after 12 beers. That was his line. All right, boys and girls, we got about a half hour before we rattle the offering plate and see if we can knock out tonight's goal. So let's try to get it within striking distance. 180 away. Thank you for the early rally. We appreciate that. Streamlabs, PayPal, and Venmo are the best ways to knock it down quickly. Let's all band together, throw a couple of bucks in, and we'll take this thing down in no time. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, links are in the chat and pinned to the top of the page. Get in there, throw in a couple of bucks if you can, and let's make it a successful day for the show. 180 away with about a half hour to go until we rally the troops. The Hulkster said he's going to drop 40 pounds. Oh, no, he has dropped 40 pounds.
Yeah.
After giving up alcohol 8 months ago. Very cool. Good for the Hulkster.
That is cool. And he's getting older, so it's probably better for him to stop drinking, right?
Yeah, he's 70 years old. He
That
can't.
is fun.
He can barely walk anymore.
How is one to have a karaoke bar, though, and not drink?
He's got to run the business now.
But I feel like they go
Gotta be
hand in
more
hand.
responsible. He look, man, he's having trouble walking. He's had back problems for a long time. He's had knee problems for a long time. So I'm guessing any amount of weight he can take off his joints and his back has got to be helpful.
But I kind of don't get the, having a hard time walking and everything. He looks, phenomenal. He's in such great shape,
It's
visually.
from pro wrestling. It's broken his
so
entire
you're saying
body.
you can still you can work out and look that good, but
Yes.
all your joints are just shot?
And your body is shot. In fact, a lot of guys who are very muscly when they're younger, as they get older, they do experience more problems because your body's skeletal structure has a hard time supporting that much muscle.
That's why I pick my men like him, where you're kind of muscular, but you're not too far.
Tyson
so you can,
Fury-ish
maintain it.
is what they call it. Tyson Fury-ish is what they say.
He's too top heavy.
As am I. So,
No.
but the Hulkster losing the 40 pounds with the not drinking, it doesn't change the fact that 300 times a year he did that fucking leg drop thing.
Yeah.
I mean, doing that leg drop. I mean, I know we're not supposed to watch WWE clips. Let's do Hulk Hogan leg drop AWA. Let's do that one. Hulk Hogan did this. God, all this is WWE shit. Are you kidding me? Hulk Hogan leg drop gif. Let's do that.
I like watching you get mad about your wrestling.
Now look at this. Look at that leg drop. Look at the impact that has on your butt and your spine.
You should be in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Now imagine he did that from about 1978 to 2003 with very few breaks in between.
Man, are you getting injections or something?
No, he's had about
Maintain
40 back surgeries. And I think another 20 knee surgeries.
I don't understand people's worship of wrestling. I don't. These people destroy themselves and die at 36.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Oh, yeah, Paul R. Nelson, thank you. 2006. 2003 was the end of his regular run with WWE. Then he came back for a spot in 05 and a spot in 06. Thank you. But, yeah, he's got a fake hip. I think he's got fake knees. He's just really in a bad way,
Was it worth
man.
it? Was all that glory worth it?
Even after a terrible divorce and all kinds of bad shit happening, he's still worth $30 million. So I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, but you hurt all the time.
Yeah, he's also 70. There's a lot of people who are 70 who hurt all the time and they didn't get the $25 million.
Touche.
I mean, there's a lot of people who got fucked up just as bad as Hulk Hogan did, being an iron worker or a metal worker all their life.
Or a farmer.
Or a farmer, right.
Or as you would say, a welfare case.
Oh, well, yeah, a welfare queen. April's Puffy Nips with $2 says, we're looking nice and perky tonight. April's Puffy Nips. Thank you for the $2. Hopefully that starts a rally and gets us within striking distance tonight. Thank you very much. Mel Gibson, after 12 beers, says Hogan's best finisher was Bubba's marriage. Very good.
That's funny.
Very good. Paul R. Nelson with a good point. April, have you ever won a world heavyweight title? I rest my case.
I have not.
Exactly.
You are right.
You'll be able to walk when you're 70, but you know what you won't have?
A title.
A victory over the Iron Sheik. Exactly.
I mean, I'm still alive and he's not. I consider that victory.
Wheat Diff says, I heard all the time watching this show. Oh, man.
I'm going to fuck his ass with a back spear button.
Wow. That's
I don't like his voice at all.
a hell of a threat. Well, that makes one of us.
It sounds like he has phlegm or cum in his throat.
Why can't it be both?
I don't know. My throat's bad tonight. I'm sorry, guys.
So judgmental.
I'm projecting, actually.
Sam Asghari unfollows Britney Spears on Instagram 2 weeks after filing for divorce. I love that this is news. There's something about being blackpilled that allows you to enjoy really stupid shit.
Why is
Because
this?
you don't expect much. A guy who's divorcing his wife, not following her on social media anymore, is not something I'd consider newsworthy.
No, this isn't news.
It kind of sounds like that's what you do. That's kind of part of the moving on process.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Just, okay, we're not associated anymore. Let's just remove them from all of this shit.
Yeah, I don't think you want to watch your ex. And especially the stuff she puts on Instagram where she's losing her mind and going mental and everything else. You don't need to watch that.
No, I'd say if you do watch that, you're the sus one.
Somebody asked in the chat, did he have to sign a prenup? I believe he did. I think he did sign a prenup where he doesn't. I don't think he gets any money. Sam Asghari.
Oh, he did. Yeah, there was a prenup. He was with her without the assumption that he'd get any money.
Right, because she didn't even have access to her money when she married him.
No, I don't think so.
They were married before the conservatorship.
Right before it, though.
Loaded Wrench says, I unfollowed all 4 of my ex-wives. Yeah, again, unfollowing someone when you break up is kind of a normal thing. I'd wonder why you were still following.
Yep, right. That always seems a little more weird.
That seems a little more sus than anything. Zen Rhino says she's been schizo posting on Instagram for almost a year or more. Why he got married to her is a mystery.
I agree. I mean, they didn't seem to have anything in common. But again, we don't live with them, or we didn't live with them.
But he's younger than her, right?
I think so.
So he got to marry Britney Spears, the girl he grew up jacking off to. So that was probably part of the draw.
I'm sure he loved her on some level, but
the amount of videos you saw where she was making a scene in a restaurant and he'd have to pull the car around and pick her up because she was going nuts.
Check it out. This is what I always kind of thought about this situation, is that he was with her and like in a relationship when she was still under the conservatorship, where she probably did have a little bit of a sturdy head on her shoulders, like she was a little straight.
Wow, really?
And then, what I'm saying is he might have fallen in love with that Britney, and then the conservatorship's gone, it's expired, gone existed, and then she goes crazy. What are you supposed to do?
I see, but you got to remember, she went crazy. Then there was the conservatorship. Then we didn't really hear a lot about her because she was under that conservatorship. They controlled her social media. No, I bet you she was still insane because they took her off the conservatorship and she was still crazy. She had never, it leads me to believe that if you went into it crazy and you came out of it crazy, that you never turned off the crazy while it was on. We just never saw her.
She was acting right, maybe. I do believe she was probably on some kind of medication and a little more behaved when she was on the conservatorship. And maybe he fell in love with that, and then she got wild, and he's like, okay, this is obviously fucked up.
Well, either way, he ended up making the right decision eventually. And now what I love about the United States of America is that now him unfollowing a woman he's divorcing is now front page news for page 6 of the New York Post. I don't know why. I just like that.
I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. It still bothers me too. Like, I saw an article a couple days ago, like, oh, Kim Kardashian is apparently not interested in Kanye's personal life. I'm like, well, no shit.
Yeah.
Why should she be? Even if
First of all, isn't he showing off his asshole on a boat or something? I saw that picture.
Yeah, something like that.
He was showing off his butthole on a boat. What the hell?
Him and his wife are banned from that boat company now. For life.
No, he got banned from the boat after he showed his butthole on it?
They both are.
Son of a bitch. You show your asshole one time.
You know what I mean? Like, unless you're like a danger to like kids you're sharing or something, there should be zero interest in your personal life of an ex.
Yeah, I don't get it. I've always been like a burn the bridge kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Like it's over, it's done with.
Right.
Gone existed, as the poet laureate Chad Zumach would say.
And like for like him and Kanye, like of course they share kids and stuff, but that's just business, really.
Mel Gibson, after 12 beers, says he still follows her on LinkedIn. Hypocrite. Of course.
I already still likes her videos.
Yeah. Kids, 20 minutes away from rattling the offering plate and trying to beg our way into success tonight. See if you can help us out a little beforehand. $180 away from tonight's goal. We would love your support. Streamlabs, PayPal, and Venmo. If you want to pop into the YouTube chat a little bit or the Rumble chat and just check that out and click those links and throw in a couple of bucks or super chats, memberships, what have you. we would appreciate it very much and try to knock that 180 number down a little bit more. Okay, on we go. Wouldn't you know it? An athlete, this time in Kansas City, high school quarterback, collapsed on the field. Just,
another one.
Yeah, just collapsed on the field, and by God, wouldn't you know it, nobody has any idea why.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a common phenomenon now.
We have no idea why. It's never happened before in this school. They've never had a kid just go down and have their heart stop beating live on the field. But just, must be one of those damn things. They hadn't seen it before, so they're due. Let's watch the media try to tap dance around this one. I'm surprised they report these anymore.
Yeah, right. Isn't it embarrassing?
Because we all know, like with the first question, most of us, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe most of us don't ask that question when these stories happen.
Yeah, but now all these kids are having this new thing called sudden dropsies syndrome. Yeah. Like they're just falling over.
I mean, I wonder if we don't live in a bubble and maybe there are a lot of people who see these stories and they really just don't question anything. And they go, oh my God, that's terrible. And they just see it as a one-off. And they don't, follow the news and go, oh, it's happening in this community, in this community. It's been happening a shitload. All these teenagers that are in the prime of their lives and in sports are just dropping like flies on the field. Should we maybe look into what they've all been doing the last couple of years that could be causing that? Maybe there's a lot of people who don't do that. Maybe they just watch it and take it at face value.
I can appreciate your attempt to see other people's opinions or like viewpoints, but I don't know how people would be that out of touch anymore.
Because they were never that in touch in the first place.
No.
They don't put the two and two together.
But that is a topic that really did sweep the nation.
No, not really. Not if you do. Maybe if you do a talk show, but for a lot of people, yeah, it's easy to stay away from that shit.
All right.
You got to remember, like I always try to tell people this. I always tell Corey this when we did the show. Like, you and I follow stuff because of our work a lot closer than the average person does. How many times have you told people somebody about something and they go, oh, I didn't know that. No, I never saw that. I didn't, I wasn't aware of that. You're like, oh, that's because I read, 15 fucking websites a day.
I mean, I guess.
And I'm inundated with this shit.
I guess I've had moments like that, like random people in the sauna in the gym, you just sit there and you're having conversation and I end up saying something like, well, I say broadcasting, it's easier than this, but just say, oh, if I have to follow the news for broadcasting or whatever, otherwise I wouldn't really want to see this
So
stuff.
These people don't know a lot of this stuff. And I bet you if you ask a lot of our audience, when they go and they talk about this stuff with just people in general, family, friends, work colleagues, whatever, I'm sure they'll probably tell you, when I say this to my work colleagues, some of them look at me like I'm out of my mind. Because it would never occur to them that maybe this was a problem. But I do hope there's at least 25% of people who see these stories and they do put two and two together and they do go, God, a lot of teenage kids just in great shape seem to just be dropping like flies lately. Could it possibly be this thing that they all have in common? You hope so. But let's take a look at the latest one and see how CBS News out of Pittsburgh dances around this.
We gathered for a vigil for high school quarterback Mason Martin, who collapsed on the field during Friday's game and had to be airlifted to the hospital. Lauren Linder was at the...
No contact, no hit, no like if the guy's going down and somebody like goes full force into his head and pushes his neck back or something and he has to be airlifted to the hospital, you're like, okay, that can happen in a football game.
And it does make sense.
Right. But he's just on the field and then he drops and he needs to be airlifted to the hospital.
Right. If it's a no contact, you just have to assume there's either some sort of issue with your brain or your body was under a little more exertion than usual and your heart gave out or something weird, right?
That vigil this evening and has the story for us.
In a post on Facebook, Mason Martin's parents shared their son remains in critical condition and that they have to wait for swelling to go down before they can assess damage to his brain. In the meantime, hundreds of people came here to the field at Karn City High School where the incident happened to show their support.
If they tell us what exactly happened, then maybe it's not the thing we're thinking of. But if they don't give us any specifics, you can be damn sure that they're not giving you specifics because they don't want people thinking a certain thing about a certain item.
Right. Before she said brain and she just said, oh, they need to wait for the swelling to go down. I'm like, what, of his heart?
And, brain swelling can also be caused by your heart not pumping blood to your brain also.
For the quarterback.
We need a miracle.
from prayers
Because we are unified today, we are not alone.
to song. Amazing grace. And words of optimism.
Mason is a fighter, and I promise you, he will win this battle.
The Karn City community and beyond are rallying behind the Martin family.
The trauma that was witnessed by so many on Friday night was a bomb that went off in the middle of the Martins' lives.
But what
They
happened?
joined us one Sunday
on.
night at the football field for 17-year-old Mason Martin, a senior and quarterback fighting for his life at UPMC Presbyterian in Pittsburgh.
After
Family tells KDKA Mason suffered a significant brain bleed, along with a collapsed lung during the third quarter of Friday night's football game. They say he was involved in a hit or tackle and continued playing defense without issue. Minutes later, when he came back on the field for the return kickoff, they saw Mason stumbling and collapse. The game cut short.
All right, so that's a little different. See,
that makes sense then.
I wonder if they don't want people to think the other thing, so they save that for later in the story.
No, you'd think they'd say it right away if they didn't want.
I will say this: the whole getting hit and then the collapsed lung and the brain bleed and that kind of thing. I'm not saying that that's better or good in any way, but thank God it was that, because there's just been too many kids dropping.
For no reason.
And it's a heart swelling thing. And I mean, the fact that they're trying to play off now that LeBron James' kid, they just discovered a congenital heart defect in him at 19 years old when he's been a top shelf elite basketball player his entire life.
Spawned from another one.
Sorry, bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They did not just they didn't just discover now.
Yeah.
His heart condition.
Well, this one, like a couple minute delayed, or like, you get hit, you jar something loose, you really fuck your brain up, that can start bleeding, and a couple minutes later, you're going to pass out.
If you get hit and you collapse your lung, and you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain, all that stuff can happen. That's completely reasonable. It's the ones where they go, oh, the kid just collapsed and we have no idea what happened. Whenever Farley with $20 says, hey, Aaron and April, I had to change my channel name because Anthony Signore and his Popcorn Planet cronies were trying to shut down my channel. Tennis is boring. I'd rather watch Schindler's List. I don't know who that guy is that was going after you, but that's too bad.
Yeah, thank you.
What, do they have something against your foot videos?
Right, we've seen Farley's videos.
The guy likes his feet.
Yeah, but it's an innocent channel. Like, what do you have to take that down for?
Yeah, I don't...
that's pretty shitty. Sorry, dude.
I don't quite get it.
Thank you, though.
Alex with $5 says, hang on, Aaron. We don't know if the youth had any underlying conditions prior to the Oh, I get the obvious now. Taste Fairy says Bray Wyatt got a congenital heart condition at 36. Yeah, like a year ago, Bray Wyatt developed a heart condition and he had to have a defibrillator for it that was mobile and could travel with him that he didn't have on when he was sleeping. And yeah, I mean, it just happened to a guy who's been a professional wrestler. I mean, look, you can make whatever joke about professional wrestling you want. It is a fucking cardio sport, my friend. You need to be able to, your cardiovascular system needs to be able to work to do pro wrestling. And Bray Wyatt, they just discovered this condition a year or so ago. Yeah, no. Sorry. I'm not buying it. Rupert with $9.99 says LeBron James' kid has been hooked on to so many EKGs and other things for training purposes alone. It would be almost impossible for them to miss something like that. Well,
it's like an absolute stud racehorse and his offspring. You're going to make sure they're in tip-top shape and condition at all times, right?
Yes. MSO is getting very upset, or not upset, he's getting disappointed. He just wrote ugh, ugh, ugh because 3 super chats just came in. It does put us at 155 away from tonight's goal, but we're about 10 minutes away from the offering plate segment.
Thank you.
So MSO, don't get too bummed out. You could still, end up winning your matchup here. The links to Streamlabs, PayPal, and Venmo are in the chat right there, pinned to the top of the page. 155 away, and boy, we're teetering on the edge there. If you want to chip in, again, we knocked it out this morning. If we knock it out tonight, it's a successful start to this week. Like I said, Rumble, pretty dead tonight, so I am checking out the chat from time to time. But Rumble, pretty slow this evening. People, MSO, we'll see. 155 away. Maybe people want to continue this little rally we're on. But if they don't, MSO could find himself a W tonight. I mean, I certainly hope not. I hope he loses. I hope we win. And we get you a half hour of overtime here. We don't have to stop. But, hey, anything can happen. Okay, we have a bunch of stories we can get to. A lot of them are video news stories. We got 10 minutes left. How about this one?
Okay.
We got 10 minutes left, and hopefully we hit overtime tonight. This was a guy who called 911 on an irresponsible drunk who was driving on the wrong side of the highway, and he alerted police, and police were able to find the guy.
That's good, right?
Thank God that he called this in. And this guy, by the way, very familiar with the person who was driving the wrong way that he called in and reported. Awesome. In fact, he knew the guy very, very well. Let's check this out.
911, where's your emergency?
I'm on Highway 77 going north, and there's somebody that is on the wrong side of the road.
And then did you see what color or type of vehicle it was?
No, he had his brights on, man. He almost ran me off the road.
Which direction is he
in? I mean, that would be terrifying, right?
It is really terrifying. That happened to me once.
You're driving down the road and another car's coming the other way. You're like, oh my God, this son of a bitch is going to kill me.
Yep.
Even if I get out of the way, is he going to swerve to where I am?
Or do I have to take the ditch right now and I might roll?
Holy shit. So thank God this guy called and let the cops knew about it, right?
Yes, it is good that he called and let the cops knew about it.
Of course. I'm a professional broadcaster.
And north or south?
I am going northbound on 77. He was going southbound. I am on the east lane. He was on the west lane.
Okay.
See, there's the taillights right there. So you can see the traffic is coming this way, but there's taillights right there indicating that vehicle's going that way. And again, thank God this person called it in so that they could catch him.
Was it a car, truck, or SUV or anything?
It looked like a truck.
Okay.
But dude, he almost hit me, so I was like, holy
Okay.
Right? Crazy asshole. That truck was going this way while the car, I'm going this way. Crazy bastard. You better go catch him.
What a psycho.
Officer or deputy contact you if they have questions about what you saw?
No, you're good. I was just like, holy
Deputies know so they can go try to locate the vehicle.
Yeah, that was gnarly. That was like a lot.
So there you go.
Okay, so
this is the vehicle. Now, it doesn't look like a truck.
Not a truck at all.
It does not look like a truck. So you got to wonder if this guy was that dependable on the phone ratting this guy out.
Not a good eyewitness.
Yeah, do you know why I stopped you?
Yeah, because I was on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. Is there a reason for that?
No, but I must have missed an exit.
Missed an exit?
Were you the one that called?
This driver was found with a blood alcohol level of over twice the legal limit. So he's blowing
Get the hell out of town.
He's blowing a .16 driving the wrong way on the highway. This crazy son of a bitch could have killed somebody.
Lucky .16.
Thank God that somebody called this in. We're about to find out who that somebody was that called this crazy bastard in.
Missed an exit?
Were you the one that called in?
Yep.
You were?
Yeah, because I thought somebody was on the wrong side of the road, bro.
It was you. You were the guy.
He thought the truck was going the wrong way, so he dialed up and called and ratted the fucking truck out for being a crazy asshole. And it turns out he was the crazy asshole.
I see. So he's just sitting there on the wrong side of the road and everyone else is doing right.
I know that him drunk driving on the wrong side of the road put lives in danger, but technically, did not his call to the authorities save lives that day?
It really did. And actually, I think we should be feeling sorry for him and the trauma he probably went through. That was scary.
Sure, that's a very scary ordeal that this man went through.
He'll be terrified on all the roads later.
And he tried to do the right thing.
He did try to turn somebody.
Yeah, he knew about a crazy asshole going the wrong way on a road, so he called it in and reported it to the authorities.
How about that? You didn't know that you were the crazy asshole?
Well, by the time he got pulled over, he did. Because he did say, he goes, yeah, sorry, I was going the wrong way. I thought somebody else was. I fucked up. Ugh, my bad.
But it turned out it was you.
Yep, like a dumb
like a dumb shit. Oh, there you go.
That's kind of fun, right?
Nobody gets hurt. Everybody's fine in the end. We're okay.
But do you really want to be on the phone with a police officer reporting something of this nature and mid-phone call, you're like, you see, I just saw a sign and I think I might be,
Officer, you know what? Check that. I think I might be fucked up.
I think it's me.
You just hang. You know what? Hold on. You know what, officer? There's 3 more. Yeah. I'm starting to think that maybe this one's on me. Yeah. No, I'll be in the ditch. You come and get me. All right. Take care. All right. Bye. You go.
I mean, how uncomfortable. Why wouldn't you just flip around and go the right way?
Just try to turn around and escape before anybody's the wiser.
Right, because how would they ever catch you, really? As long as you made it home safe after that.
I mean, I guess. But ultimately...
You're going to just pull over on the side of the road?
If you're so fucked up that you can't even stay on the right side of the road, what makes you think that just merely getting on the right side of the road and driving, you're going to be able to keep it together and not get pulled over? I mean, look, I understand it raises your chances of not getting caught if you're on the proper side of the road.
Wouldn't that sober you up any? You know how when you're really, really drunk and something weird happens and kind of sobers you for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Couldn't that do that to you? Wouldn't you realize, holy shit, I'm in big trouble here?
I mean, fingers
crossed. Kick into action?
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed, but,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not so sure.
Have you ever found yourself going the wrong way for some reason?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
really?
Yeah. Were you city streets in Minneapolis? This would happen to me a lot in Northeast when I would go to my friends' houses and you would drive down a neighborhood road and you'd want to take a left, but it's one-way traffic down that road, but you didn't know because it was an intersection that you weren't on. And you turn left and you realize all the cars are parked the opposite way.
Okay.
You're like, oh, fuck, I better get out of here. But actually going the wrong way on a two-way
a
highway?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Or an exit or something, like you went in the how they
I'm trying
an
to
exit
think.
will be split depending on which way you're coming off.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
I know I've gone the wrong way down a one-way street before, like in a residential area, but never.
I only did that once in Litchfield. They've got a few blocks that are just one-way traffic on the downtown area. And when you first start driving, I think that's excusable. One time.
Shit out of me. See a car coming the other way. And especially in Northeast Minneapolis, where you've got, it's supposed to be 2 lanes, but you've got 2 rows of parked cars, one on each side. So there's really only room for one car at a time in this one way. So if you're going the wrong way, you better hope the other person's paying attention and allows you to kind of pull off to the side and get turned around.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a pickle, huh?
Puts you in a bit of a tight spot. All right, we got a couple of minutes here before we rattle the cans and play that super chat music. Justin Dabbler will be very happy to see that we're 155 short tonight because he'll get to hear the music for a few minutes. And also, MSO looking for a victory tonight. $155 away from tonight's goal, so we're just outside of striking distance. Hopefully, we can all band together and knock this thing out. We had a successful morning show. Let's have a successful evening show.
Yeah.
About 300 of you, Rumble and YouTube combined, watching at a time, which is always good for the evening show. Everybody hit thumbs up. If you can become a member, become a member. Otherwise, Streamlabs, PayPal, memberships, Super Chats, Venmo, whichever. Let's knock that last 155 out. I want you guys to watch born-again Christian Richie the Barber tell us about Jesus, and then we'll rattle the offering plate and see if we get to go till 9:30 tonight or if we're wrapping up in about 10 minutes. This is Richie the Barber. He wants to educate you all about the Lord. And I just judging by the look of the guy, I think you should listen. Especially when it comes to the whole body as a temple thing.
Yeah, this is where I go.
Yeah. What I see right now is he's getting his army ready.
Come on.
That's what I'm getting chills. Come on. And I do believe it. Think about it. It's the enemy. Because if the church, if religious people knew that we have authority over all demonic beings, then we would take over and reign over everything.
Come on.
But the enemy doesn't want us to know that we have authority over them.
Yeah.
So they want us to stay in a box. And I believe that there's not going to be that many churches. It's just going to be churches everywhere. That's what we're doing. We're going to houses. We're going to bars. We're going, and he's getting people that you wouldn't think that would be like this, and step up. Like I really don't care what happens. Let's go.
Now that's the end of the clip. I just want to say this. This is maybe the first time I've seen a video like this where the tattoos and the piercings did not sway my opinion on what he was saying one way or the other. This guy could have been wearing a 3-piece suit and looked like a doctor. And if he would have been saying this stupid shit, I would have been like, would you shut the fuck up and pass the chips, please?
This little word salad.
Yeah, this word salad of like, he's getting his army ready. I'm like, really? You think God's getting his army ready? If he's getting his army ready, it's a really weird army.
How about that?
And I'm not sure that you're supposed to be in it.
How about that there's not going to be many churches, but there's going to be churches everywhere.
Yeah, that was a little weird too.
Yeah. Okay, which one is it?
What he's saying is there's not going to be like the building of a church. Every bar and tavern and everything's going to be a church.
He's saying that you don't got to go to the church to pray. You can just pray all around you. Jesus is all places.
Look, I think when it is time for the ultimate holy war for, God's soldiers to step up, I'm not trying to demean what he's saying. I just don't know if Richie the Barber is going to be looked upon as a general, really not even a lieutenant. For that matter, but
are you saying that the message is good, but he's maybe not the messenger?
I'm not even sure how good the message is, to be completely honest with you. You might that might have to be a throw the baby out with the bathwater kind of a thing.
A tiny bit Christian as I am.
Yeah,
I do like the idea that hey, church is esoteric. It's everywhere, but.
All right. Well, now that we've got our holy message out of the way, let's rattle our holy offering plate and let's knock out that 155. We don't miss on the evening shows, guys. We knock these out no matter what. We kill these rallies, and we find a way to make it a successful night for Steel Toe. Let's fire it up. Let's get the music going here. And there we go. All right, everybody throw a little bit in the offering plate. We don't want to stop doing this show in 5 minutes. We want to keep this thing going the next 30 minutes. Of course, it keeps the show on the air. It keeps Steel Toe going, and it beats MSO, which is really great. That's my biggest joy I get out of this.
It flogs him.
I mean, look, the checks don't bounce. Everybody gets paid. That's, I like that part. But I really like the pride of beating MSO. So 155 away. Fill up this here offering plate that this lovely woman is shaking and show your support for the Church of Steel Toe. We made these first 2 hours go by quick. We'll make your next half hour go by quick. So yeah, I'm selling. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, memberships. The Lord loves the plate being passed around. Absolutely, Just a Dabbler. So let's start the rally. Everybody with a few bucks, praise the toe. We all work together as a community to knock this thing out so we can keep doing your favorite program the way we do. The music is here. The offering plate is here. Now all we need is the contributions to knock out that 155 so we don't fall behind this week. Here we go, boys and girls.
I'm working.
5, 10, 15, 20 at a time. The offering plate is going. April's shaking it. I could have said that better.
I am indeed.
Balls Deep. Let's see some new faces in there as Balls Deep tries to get a rally starting. Here we go. 145 away. MSO says you're going to have to work harder than that, April. Yeah, put a little spice, a little energy.
Well, I can't in this shirt.
Into that offering plate. Yeah, there you go. Maybe that's what they want.
I don't know.
All right, guys, Balls Deep has started the rally. We've got 4 minutes to knock this thing out. Morgan, that's too bad. I would have loved to see you become a fan of the show. Oh, well, what do? We do what we have to do, and if you don't like it, you don't have to enjoy it. That's okay.
Help him out. Get him out of here.
Help him out. 145. Away from knocking this thing out. We're not ashamed to do what we need to do to keep this program on the air. If it bothers you, the door is always open. Bradley with $5 says $5 for the Steel Toe ashtray. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Just a Dabbler, for becoming a member. Phage Lives with $9.99 says do it for the pen is please. The penis. Do it for the penis.
Oh, he probably couldn't type penis in the super chat.
Oh, I see.
Penis.
All right, 135 away from knocking it out tonight. 3 minutes away. Will MSO win or will we kick the shit out of MSO? I personally like it when we kick the shit out of MSO.
Me too.
No Pen 15 Fathead says here's some shillings. And throws $10 in there.
Thank you.
125 away. We're getting closer and closer, boys and girls, to getting that extra 30 minutes of overtime. 2.5 minutes to go. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, memberships, Rumble Rants. Let's see if we can knock that final number down as the rally has begun.
Let's have some new names.
Oh, yeah, let's throw some new names at us. Let's throw a couple of bucks at a time at it.
New members of the Church of Toe.
Oh, the Church of the Toe appreciates all your contributions. Oh, boy, but can we get it tonight? 125 away, now officially at the 2-minute warning. If you like what we're hearing, we are an e-beggar show, meaning all of these contributions, that goal goes towards this show, just paying the bills, keeping the lights on, and keeping the show on the air. 125 away. Off we go. Can we do it? A show our size, we shouldn't even be able to exist. But we do, thanks to our shaking and our begging and our asking our audience for money.
Our whoring.
Our deliberate sluttiness. Has the show been good enough tonight? I don't know. A minute and a half away. And still 125 away from knocking out tonight's goal. Oh, I don't want to fall behind this early in the week. Oh, boy, is it going to happen. Please, please, pretty please. A minute 15 left and 125 away. It goes by quicker on Streamlabs, PayPal, and Venmo. 125. There's all the links, guys.
Let's do it.
What you can. We've got a little over a minute left to go. And we are light tonight, that is for sure. You got about a handful of people chipping in, trying to knock this thing out. Give me that offering plate. I'm going to give it some energy. Here you go, guys. April doesn't know how to beg. She doesn't know how to shake that offering plate. So let's really give her. We're flipping it around. Fill it up. Throw a couple of bucks in there. What do you say? If we're going to beg, we're going to go out begging hard. Let's keep it going. 30 seconds left. Thank you to Mad Joe for $7.99. Says God has his armies and he will not be mocked. Well,
Amen.
then tell me what those face tattoos were. Thank you very much. The monkey is dancing. Throw a couple of bucks in the monkey's hat and keep his business afloat, for Christ's sake. Here we go. The most desperate e-beggar in the game is asking you for a couple of bucks. Off we go. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die sweating. Come on. If I'm going to get made fun of, I'm going to make a fool of myself. Let's go. Let's give them some ammunition.
We have so much more show left.
All right, guys. We got about 15 seconds to go. April, finish it off there.
I don't know if I can hold the candle, you know.
We are 120 away from tonight's goal. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kill the music. 120 is a kick in the dick. Let's
see.
Hit refresh, see if we got there. You've got $5 from Daniel. I appreciate that. That's like when they flip the what do you say? The nets for
shrimp.
Shrimp in Forrest Gump. And he goes, I only caught 5. Well, 115 away. We missed last Tuesday morning by 90.
Is it Tuesday?
Now we've missed tonight by 115. That fucking sucks. What do you do?
I think we'll make it up.
Oh well, I'll write it. I'll jot it down here. What is it? 115. Hand me a pen there. All right. Well, 115 away. We didn't make overtime tonight, guys. Oh well. What do you do?
We're sorry,
it happens.
we're not funny.
It is happening a little more usual than it used to. So maybe it is a disturbing trend. Maybe we'll see. But hopefully, we just like every other week, we just make it up the next time.
I don't know. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
115 sucks. What can you do? I'm not going to pretend I love it. I'm not going to pretend that it's awesome, but 115 is 115. Thank you to everybody who contributed to our program tonight.
Yes,
we hope that tomorrow we can knock out our goal.
Started out hot tonight.
All right, guys. We will talk to you tomorrow. Take it easy. April, thank you very much.
Thank you.